Thanks to Leader Newspapers, coming up, it's grand final week for the Division 3 SAS Security Final Series, and we've got both of the coaches on the show. Division 1 and Division 2, it's preliminary final week. Plenty of action there. The under-19 handball competition, don't go anywhere for the next 30 minutes. This is SFL TV. Welcome to SFL TV again this week, and joining me at the desk, as he always does, is Dave Hampton from Southern FM. Hammers, welcome aboard.
Great to be here again, Wes, and big weekend. We've got finals coming up, and of course we've got a few to look over again from last weekend.
And I'm excited, Hammers, because it's grand final week at last in Division 3. The big grand final between Patterson Lakes and Mount Waverley.
Can't be any better game, I don't think, this one. These two have been eyeing each other off all season, and they've both made it to the final dance, as we like to say here, and really looking forward to it. It's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's take a look at how Mount Waverley won their way through to the grand final.
And joining us now, of course, the two coaches from the Division 3 grand final this Saturday afternoon. Andy Lucas, of course, from Patterson Lakes, and Jared Wilkin from Mount Waverley. Thanks very much, guys, for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
I'll start with you first. Andy, you've had the week off, and you're obviously trained hard last Saturday, did you? Or
we had a run Saturday morning, and brekkie was put on for us, and then we got the bus down and had a look. So it was good to get the break though, get the bodies all up and going, and
freshen them up.
Very fresh, yes.
Boys feeling pretty good.
Yeah. So now, Jared, of course, you're not going to be giving too much away about weary legs, but after the preliminary final there, everybody's pulled up okay?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, we went down for a beach session yesterday. And you know, get the legs going through the water. So as far as Neva runs, right to go.
Just back with you again, Andy, for a sec. Any players we've got trying to make a late run for it with you guys, or?
It worked. It didn't work out well at all, in the fact that we had blokes that had been playing twos for the last two finals, and because we didn't play on the same weekend, a lot of them couldn't play. So it's like if they did want to have the crack at, you know, that last crack to impress, to get themselves into that senior side, that sort of got lost in the setup, and that, you know, the laws are there for a reason, but through injuries and that, for blokes that have had a bit of a tough year, it worked out in the end, unless they can impress at training, which is pretty hard to do.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's it.
There won't be too many not impressing anyway that are already givens in that side. So.
Now, Jared, the big boy, James Goff, booted his 100th goal in the qualifying final a couple of weeks ago, and things have settled down there. I see a much better work in front of the big sticks in the preliminary final, so he's good to go for the big one.
He is, he's ready.
And it's about getting other boys around him to kick the winning score.
That's right, you can't always rely on one person to put the score on the board, can you? So hopefully the other five guys up there might contribute a bit.
And your boys, Andy, got to be looking forward to it, obviously. What's the feeling like, the vibe? Everyone quite calm at the moment?
It's a different, it's been different, you know. Like last year we didn't have the break, and it was just, you know, just kept flowing on and flowing on. So it's a real different preparation this year for us. But I think even last year, it's what we were striving to get. We were trying to get that top spot last year, so we had the easy run to give the bodies a freshen up and that, and to get the week off. And even this year we were trying to get it, and it just wasn't to be when we dropped that one against Lindale during the year. So to get that week off now, like, the boys are all up and about, like I said.
What about the young boys? Any there that you're worried that maybe get a little bit overawed with nerves, or you just try and keep those boys pretty calm? You've got on-field leaders, so you'd like to think that'll be part of their job and your job.
I also like to think that the inexperience might be work in their advantage, you know what I mean? Sometimes the blokes that have been around it a bit, they're more nervous than the ones who don't really know what to expect. So you'd like to hope that's the scenario with the young boys.
Now, Wilco, this has been talked about a number of times over the years, and Mount have been to the big dance before on a number of occasions. But it's a pretty different team, this one, to the one that's played in some of the previous grand finals in previous years. So
Yes.
the scars that people think are there aren't really there.
No, there's only 4 of us that have played in all 4 of those grand finals. 2 years ago when we played against Southern Dragons, I think there's only 10 players that played in that one. So half the team is still there, but yeah, we got a lot of new blokes coming. So, and there are a couple of guys that actually have come back that have played in premierships at other clubs. So they're raring to go. They're ready.
Good to hear. And nice light week on the track for your boys this week, you'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. With the weather the way it's going to be on Tuesday, then you're not going to get much done.
No one will improve too much this time.
Well,
of year.
your fitness.
If they're not ready to go now, I don't think they'll get any better in the last
That's
week.
certainly true.
No, not at all.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for joining us, and all the very best for Saturday. And can we say, may the best team win?
No worries.
Thank you.
Good luck. Welcome back to SFLTV, and now the focus is on the Division 1 in the SAS Security SFL Final Series. And last weekend it was in the second semi-final, Dingley 8-5-53 went down to East Brighton 10-14-74. Bit of an upset there, Hammers.
Bit of an upset. Not many people saw this one coming at all. I certainly didn't, but well, the Vampires, they know what to do when it gets to this time of the year, but we know that for sure.
They sure do.
The Dingoes, though, they get a chance to lick their wounds and get another crack at it, of course, next week.
In the preliminary final. And speaking of the preliminary final, they will be this weekend playing against the winner of the first semi-final from last weekend, which was St Paul's, in an absolute belter of a game. St Paul's 9-13-67 defeated Chelsea Heights 8-9-57. And joining us at the desk was the victorious coach from that game, Mark Descent from St Paul's. Mark, welcome to the desk.
Thank you, good to be here.
Ripper of a game last weekend against Chelsea Heights. They just wouldn't go away.
No, they wouldn't. They, credit to them. You know, they got some good little players there, and yeah, I thought in that first quarter, look, they come out hard, and you know, one of their guys got sent off, and they were a man down, and you know, we took control of the game, but unfortunately, we just couldn't quite hurt them on the scoreboard. I thought we'll probably, you know, at the quarter time break, we probably could have been, you know, a couple more in front, and it wasn't to be, but certainly, you know, when they come out after quarter time, and you know, to their credit, they stuck with us, and you know, we made a few mistakes.
Matty Trek, of course, was the player that went off for Chelsea Heights. Andy Gilbert was absolutely starring for that next 15 or so minutes that he was out. And then I noticed when Matty Trek come on, you had Andy quite often a kick behind the play. What was the thought pattern behind that?
Look, he was going well, Andy. There's no doubt about it. I think at times he probably got, he was probably a little bit out of position. It certainly wasn't the plan. I think, you know, a lot of things probably didn't go to plan yesterday, but certainly someone else has told me that actually too. I suppose when you're coaching, you sort of, I haven't seen the video yet, but certainly, you know, if that was the case, well, certainly maybe it had an impact. You know, it's on the big fella that Tarek. I mean, he come back on and that had a real influence. I thought it made a big difference.
And he had about 9 free kicks there.
Yeah, he had an enormous amount of free kicks as well, with just being such a big body that they couldn't get over the top of him, your boys.
Yeah, no, look, I think he was good the week before too. Yeah. You know, against Cheltenham, he's been a good, you know, a big improved player. You know, it's along with a lot of those players. I thought, you know, some of those players. I think some of them, you know, you might have seen them 2 or 3 years ago in the seconds, but they, you know, and the young kids coming along, and you know, footy's, look, especially finals. I think it's about the key to do the basics well, and I thought. We didn't quite do the basics that well at times, whereas they did, you know, and I think, you know, finals footy, I think the gap becomes smaller between sides. If you make the finals, I think the gap's not as large as probably what it would be during the year. It's a real mental thing, and I think all sides that made the finals this year, and you know, on any given day, I think anything can happen. You know,
it's a good call. Now, speaking of those that can do the special things for the second week in a row, Lukey James has booted 5 goals last weekend, and including a mark of the day, which we're just looking at the moment, and it was a terrific mark. How do we keep him up? You need a couple more good games out of him in a row.
Look, I think Luke's been around a while now.
He goes all right this time of the year.
Yeah, look, he's you know, he's played a lot of footy, Luke, and I think people probably forget that a bit. He's been around a long time, and finals he certainly lifts. He's probably one guy I at least have to worry about. I think he's quite. You just know that he'll be up and about. So
speaking of that, sorry, Hamza, talking about this weekend, the preliminary final in Division 1. Who have you got to worry about? You're up against the Dingoes. They've been the strong side all year. On top of the ladder, you've knocked them off once, as we said before. But who's the attention go to? You probably don't give too much away.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but you know they've got some good players. They've got a good mix, and they've got good depth. You know, their bottom six is quite solid, and they're good contributors. You know, and a good football team. I think the bottom six is always important, and I think Dingley have that. I think they've got a really good mix, and they've got some good options. And
Luke Walmsley, of course, must be right up there for the best player in the competition. I would have thought. I've known sides have tagged him, and it hasn't helped him very much. Talking to him after the game, it's not generally something you guys like to do too much. But do you feel you've got to put a bit of time into him?
Look, we did when we played him, Dingley there, and probably the second time around this year. Look, he was.
Well, that was our commentary game.
He was always spoken about, but he's always someone we speak about, along with half a dozen of the others. And I think the other coaches are the same. There's probably half a dozen guys or more that they speak about our players, and yeah, he's up there. I mean, they got, you know, as I said, they're solid right across the board, and you know, as I said, we get back to do the basics well, especially in finals. I think. You know, a few of those things will look after themselves. I think they'll be fine.
Now, your ruckman, Big Gilbert, has had a terrific year, and he'd be probably right up there as well in the leading player in the competition. It's probably one area where Dingley, you know, don't have that sort of leading ruckman, etc. Is that an area where you can press home your advantage in the preliminary final? Oh
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, the ruckman is a key cog in the whole thing. I mean, but at the same time, and the guys have got to get around him and all gel and work together. I mean, it's okay getting your hands on it if that's, but certainly the guys around him have got to do the job as well. So it's not just Andrew; it's the whole lot of them. So yeah, look, you can use that, but certainly you don't want to bank on it. Absolutely not.
No, I understand that.
It's we'll do our best to get our matchups right and our stoppages and stuff like that. And I'm sure they will. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Right. Thank you again for dropping by, and really appreciate it. And good luck for the preliminary final this week. Of course, against the Dingoes.
All right, let's turn our attention to Division 2 of the SA Security 2014 Final Series. Hammers?
Yes, well, of course, the first semi-final we had, it was Hampton 16-16, 112, defeating Caulfield 11-7-73, and of course, Hanlon kicking 6 goals there for the Hammers, and they keep their season alive, Wiz, but unfortunately for the Caulfield Bears, they're out in straight sets this year. Yeah,
mighty turnaround from the Hammers too, having beaten by Caulfield on both occasions during the home and away season. To turn around in that fashion in a first semi-final is a great achievement. So well done to Chris Rawner and his team out there, and they go on to the preliminary final this weekend. But in the other semi-final number 2, Morty Alec 11-8-74 defeated Sky 5-10-40. Now, we called this game for Southern FM.
We did, and we're just taking a look at some of the footage now, of course, in that game. Morty Alec, though, were never really troubled. Sky, they blew some opportunities early, of course, 7 behinds in that opening term. Really didn't get it back, and there's some problems there for the Sky boys. Lukey McGuinness held goalless in this game, but I think their bigger issue is that they've played Morty Alec 3 times this year, and they've only kicked a total of 9 goals in those 3 games.
Yeah, so it's about their ability to kick a winning score against what is now the premiership favourite in Morty Alec. But they've got to get over Hampton in the preliminary final before they think about Morty Alec, and that's the real obstacle at the moment. The Hammers with perhaps reportedly the most potent forward line in Division 2, 16 goals against Caulfield last weekend in the first semi. Sky have got to find a way past them at the moment, and the question for us in this week's preliminary final is, are they able to do that?
Well, you think they might be. Their last 6 quarters have been outstanding, the Hampton boys. Of course, the second half against Hyatt there a couple of weeks ago, and the full 4 quarters here just tells me that they are starting to play some really good football at the moment.
All right, well, we look forward to this weekend's preliminary final in Division 2 of the SAS Security Final Series. It's time for us to take a short break, and we'll be back with more after this short break. You're watching SFLTV. Now, a couple of promotions from the league office. Firstly, on Grand Final Day in Division 2 out at Jack Barker Oval in a couple of weeks' time, if you reckon you can kick the footy, this is your chance. Register by going to the league website, sfl.com.au, for the James Bogues Draft, longest kick competition. We talked about it last week, Hammers, and it's $750 to the winner and $250 to the winning club for the person that kicks the longest kick at half-time.
So all you got to do, there's plenty of people out there that talk it up, don't they? They think they can kick at 65 metres, and
time to put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up. And of course, if you don't want to do the kick, of course, at Springvale for Grand Final Division 1, we have the run as well there. So if you prefer to run instead of kick, of course, exactly the same prize money up for grabs. It's $2,000 in the combined kick and run there. So a great endorsement there for the boys.
Well, we might have some people entering both. You could do the...
Well, you could.
Win the kick on Saturday.
Just don't ping the hamstring.
And win the sprint over 88.3 metres on the Sunday. So let's see how you go. Go to the league website, as I said before, for details there. Now, the other one we want to talk about, Hammers, is the Instagram promotion. You've probably seen some of this in the footy record during the final series. And this is through Instagram.
Not the old sneakers, is it?
Yes. Ooh. Now take a photo of your dirty old sneakers, put it up on Instagram straight away, and you could win one of 5 $100 Active Feet vouchers thanks to Active Feet. So get amongst that with your grubby old sneakers too. You'd have a few sets in the garage.
I've got plenty of sets there, and unfortunately, my wife throws them out the back door pretty quick, and the dog gets straight onto them.
I think she missed the pair you've got on today, mate. But anyway, that's another story. All right, it's time for the handball competition, and in this week's handball competition, now I'm sorry, mate, we didn't get the new target this week, but we're still working on it for next
disappointing.
Week. So we've still got the other one. But
this means I've got to get behind it again and hold it up, doesn't it?
Well,
somebody asked me last week, we don't see on the handball competition. That's because I'm behind the thing, trying to keep the thing set up.
Well, think of the money we're saving by not having to put your picture in the target that the boys are trying to hit. That'd be good enough if they could. So go for that, boys. And today's heat of the handball competition, it's Carl Herbstreit from St Paul's Football Club against Jack Thompson from Karen Patterson Lakes. All right, let's have a look at the handball. Okay, it's time for the third heat of the SFL Under-19 handball competition. And joining me today is Jack Thompson from Karen Patterson Lakes Footy Club and Carl Herbstreit from the St Paul's Footy Club. Boys, g'day. Better shake hands here. We'll toss the coin to see who's going to go first. Call.
Heads.
Heads from Jack. And it looks like it's a tail. So what do you want to do?
You can go first.
You want him to go first?
Yes,
all right,
please.
okay, Jack. First up, now you've been playing for Karen Patterson Lakes down at Under-19s for a couple of years.
Yep, 2 years now.
Second year, you played centre half back.
Yep.
Hope to play senior footy down there one day.
Yeah, hopefully next year.
They haven't given you a run in the ones yet?
Nah, not yet.
No, Barnsley's looking after you though, isn't he, down there?
He is.
Very good. What do you like at handball?
Not very good actually.
What did he send you down for?
We'll soon find out here.
All right, okay. Through with your right, through with your left.
Yep.
You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's hop out the way. 7. 5. Look like a 3. 15? All right. Carl, your turn, son. All right, here we go. Carl from the doggies.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a blob. That's a 0. And that's a 3. He needs to do some work here. And that's a 7. So he's got 10. So it's 10 to 15 at half time. Righto, Jack, what do you like on your left?
Yeah, this could be very interesting.
All right, here we go. 3. 10. All right, the left. And we'll call that 5. So 33 for Jack. That's the score to beat. And what's Carl on?
10.
10. So 3 with your left. Let's see what you got.
Oh, no.
All right, we'll give that 3. He's just hit the target. 7. Oh, and a 3. All right, so we've got Carl with 23 and Jack with, what did we say? 33. Well done, Jack. You've won there. Good job, mate. Excellent stuff. Well, you hang around and we'll see you in a later episode, later on in the final series in September. You'll have a crack at the grand final. Good luck to Karen Patterson Lakes during the final series. And to you, Carl, bad luck today, mate. But for the doggies and the remainder of the final series, hope they go very well. Right, that's all from the Under-19 handball for this week. We'll see you next week.
And a good win there to Jack Thompson from CPL. great stuff from him. He gets through to the next round.
Geez, tall too, Hammers, isn't he, Jack?
Big boy.
He's, yeah, but then everybody's tall for me. That's just the way that works. All right, the handball competition. Stay tuned for the next one next week.
Well, don't forget, we've got a massive weekend of football this weekend as well. Of course, the Division 3 Grand Final, Divisions 1 and 2 preliminary finals. If you can't get there, of course, always get it on your SFL Live app.
You can too, and live streaming of the 88.3 Southern FM commentary of the match of the day there as well. That's all we've got time for this week on SFL TV. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back again next week. Bye for now.